Have you ever noticed that the real millionaires often don't look rich? They don't drive flashy cars, they don't wear designer suits, and they don't show off on social media. Yet, quietly, behind the scenes, they're financially free, secure, and completely in control of their lives. This is the surprising truth revealed in The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko. After studying thousands of millionaires across America, they discovered something shocking. Most wealthy people aren't celebrities, CEOs, or influencers. They're teachers, small business owners, engineers, and ordinary workers who simply learned how to live smart with their money. They built wealth not through luck or lottery wins, but through discipline, frugality, and long-term focus. They avoided the trap of showing off and instead chose to quietly grow their wealth, one smart decision at a time. In this video, we'll uncover 7 powerful lessons from The Millionaire Next Door. Lessons that can help you start thinking, living, and saving like the truly rich. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll see that becoming wealthy isn't about how much you earn. It's about how you think, how you spend, and how you live. The first and most powerful secret of millionaires next door is simple. They live below their means. Sounds boring, right? But this one habit separates the financially free from the financially trapped. Most people believe that to look rich, you have to spend more. But the millionaires studied by Stanley and Danko proved the exact opposite. They didn't waste money trying to impress others. They spent less than they earned, invested the difference, and quietly built wealth over time. Let me give you an example. 2 people earn the same income, say $80,000 a year. One buys luxury cars, eats out every day, and struggles to pay credit card bills. The other drives a reliable used car, lives in a modest home, and saves 20% of their income. 10 years later, who's truly rich? Not the one with the fancy car, but the one who controlled their spending. Millionaires next door understand that wealth is what you don't see. The designer clothes, the shiny watches, the latest gadgets, they may look impressive, but they're not assets. They're distractions. True wealth hides in investments, savings, and ownership, not in outward appearance. And here's the mindset shift. They don't see saving as sacrifice. They see it as freedom. Every dollar they save buys them more control over their time, more security in their future, and more peace of mind. Morgan Housel, the author of The Psychology of Money, said it beautifully. People measure wealth by what they can see. But the truth is, wealth is what you can't see. The car's not bought, the clothes not purchased, the vacations not taken. The millionaires next door mastered that principle. They learned to delay gratification, to spend smart today so they could live free tomorrow. So if you want to think like a millionaire, start not by earning more, but by needing less. Because when your lifestyle costs less than your income, that's when true wealth begins to grow. Most people want to look rich, but the millionaires next door want something far more powerful, to be free. That's the second big lesson from The Millionaire Next Door. They value financial independence more than social status. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of showing off. The latest iPhone, luxury cars, designer clothes, expensive restaurants. We chase these things not because we need them, but because we want to look successful. But here's the irony. While people spend money to appear rich, the real millionaires are busy saving, investing, and quietly becoming rich. The authors, Thomas Stanley and William Danko, found that most millionaires live ordinary lives. They don't care what their neighbors think. They don't need to prove anything. Their goal isn't to impress others. It's to achieve financial freedom. Financial independence means having enough money that your choices aren't controlled by your paycheck. It's the freedom to work because you want to, not because you have to. Let's be honest, social status feels good for a moment. That dopamine hit when someone compliments your new car or watch is temporary. But financial independence? That's peace that lasts a lifetime. The rich know that every time you buy something just to impress others, you're actually trading your future freedom for temporary approval. They ask themselves simple questions before spending. Do I really need this? Will this bring me closer to freedom or push me further away? And that's the mindset difference. People chasing status always feel like they're running a race they can't win. Because there's always someone with a bigger house, a better car, or a fancier life. But those chasing independence, they win the moment they stop caring about comparison. Remember this powerful line from the book. If your goal is to become financially independent, your lifestyle should support that goal, not compete with it. So choose freedom over approval. Choose peace over pretense. Because true wealth isn't about being noticed, it's about being free. The third lesson from The Millionaire Next Door is all about focus. Millionaires use their time, energy, and money wisely. Here's a fact the authors discovered. Most wealthy people aren't just careful with money, they're careful with how they spend their entire lives. They treat time and energy like currency because both are limited. Think about it. Most people spend hours comparing prices for a new phone, but never spend 10 minutes reviewing their investments. They work hard to earn money, then waste that money on things that don't make them any happier. The millionaires next door do the opposite. They plan, they budget, and they focus on what truly matters. They don't waste their weekends on pointless shopping sprees or endless scrolling through social media. Instead, they spend their time learning, improving, and building assets that earn money while they sleep. They understand a simple truth. Every minute you waste is money you could have earned, and every dollar you waste is time you'll never get back. Stanley and William Danko found that wealthy people dedicate significant time to financial planning. They review their spending, track their investments, and set long-term goals. They know where every dollar goes and why. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people again, both earn the same amount. One spends hours shopping online, chasing discounts, and complaining about money. The other spends that same time reading finance books, learning about investments, and tracking expenses. After a few years, the difference between them becomes massive. That's because small, consistent, intentional actions, when repeated, create enormous results. Millionaires don't chase get-rich-quick schemes. They play the long game. They focus their energy only on things that move them closer to financial independence. And they eliminate distractions that don't. They live by this rule. Don't just work hard. Work smart on the right things. So, if you want to follow their path, start by auditing how you use your time and money. Ask yourself, am I investing in my future or just spending on my present? Because wealth isn't just built with dollars. It's built with decisions. When we think of millionaires, we often imagine doctors, lawyers, or big business owners. But according to The Millionaire Next Door, most real millionaires aren't working in flashy jobs at all. They simply choose occupations that match their goals and values. The authors, Stanley and William Danko, found something fascinating. Many self-made millionaires are small business owners, engineers, teachers, farmers, and shopkeepers. They don't necessarily earn the highest salaries, but they choose careers that allow them to save, invest, and stay consistent for decades. That's the secret. It's not about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep and how wisely you manage it. Let's break it down. There are two kinds of earners: those who make a lot but spend even more, and those who make a decent income but live smart and invest the difference. Guess who becomes a millionaire? The second group, every single time. Millionaires next door choose careers that give them control and stability. They prefer jobs or businesses where they can manage their own income, minimize debt, and build something that grows with time. They look for opportunities that reward discipline and long-term effort, not quick wins. And here's another key point. They enjoy what they do. Because when you enjoy your work, you can stay consistent for years, and consistency builds wealth. Take, for example, a small-town mechanic who owns his own garage. He's not famous, he's not flashy, but he's smart with money. He invests a portion of his profit every month, avoids lifestyle inflation, and slowly builds assets. After 20 or 30 years, he's a quiet millionaire. Meanwhile, many high-income professionals are stuck in debt, chasing promotions, or spending everything they earn to maintain a rich image. The lesson here? Choose a path that allows you to live below your means and gives you freedom over your finances. You don't need a glamorous job to be rich. You just need the right habits, patience, and a purpose that keeps you moving forward. As the authors wrote, wealth is not the same as income. If you make a good income each year and spend it all, you are not wealthy. You are just living high. So pick your career not for how it looks from the outside, but for how it lets you build peace and independence from the inside. One of the most powerful lessons from The Millionaire Next Door isn't just about how the rich manage their own money. It's about how they teach their children to do the same. Millionaires Next Door raise disciplined, independent kids, not spoiled ones. The authors, Stanley and William Danko, discovered that true millionaires don't simply pass down their wealth. They pass down their values. They understand that giving too much financial help can actually hurt their children. Why? Because easy money often destroys motivation. It creates dependence instead of independence. Many wealthy parents fall into a trap. They want to make life easier for their kids. But in doing so, they take away the very struggle that builds strength, resilience, and wisdom. Real millionaires do it differently. They teach their kids how to earn, save, and invest. They show them that money is a tool, not a trophy. They let their children experience responsibility early, working part-time jobs, managing allowances, setting savings goals. There's a great example from the book. A millionaire father said, "I don't want my children to be financially dependent on me. I want them to be financially independent because of me." That's the mindset difference. Instead of giving their children fish, they teach them how to fish. They involve their kids in small money decisions, discussing budgets, explaining why the family avoids unnecessary luxuries, and showing how investments grow over time. That education is worth more than any inheritance. And here's another interesting finding. Children who grow up seeing disciplined financial behavior are far more likely to become millionaires themselves. It's not genetics, it's habits. So, if you're a parent or plan to be one someday, remember this: the greatest financial gift you can give your children isn't money. It's mindset. Teach them how to live within their means, how to value hard work, and how to be grateful for what they have. Because wealth that's earned is respected, but wealth that's given without effort often disappears in a single generation. We live in a world that loves shortcuts. Everyone wants to get rich fast. Crypto booms, lottery tickets, overnight business success. But the millionaires next door? They know a timeless truth. There are no shortcuts to lasting wealth. This is the sixth lesson from The Millionaire Next Door. Real wealth takes time, patience, and consistency. Stanley and William Danko found that most self-made millionaires didn't build their fortune in a few years. It often took them decades. Years of smart decisions, sacrifices, and long-term focus. They didn't chase trends or get rich schemes. They invested steadily, saved regularly, and avoided panic when markets went down. They trusted the process, not the hype. Let's look at an example. Imagine someone who starts investing $500 every month at age 25. With steady discipline and average returns, by age 55, they could have over $1 million. No magic, no luck, just consistency. That's the quiet power of the long game. Millionaires next door understand that wealth isn't built by timing the market. It's built by time in the market. They focus on compounding, the invisible force that turns small steps into massive results. But focusing on the long game isn't just about money. It's a mindset. It's about patience when others rush. It's about believing in progress, not perfection. It's about saying no to temporary pleasures so you can say yes to lasting freedom later. As the authors point out, the reason most people never build wealth is simple. They want results too fast. They switch jobs, investments, or habits the moment things get tough. Millionaires, however, stay the course. They stick to proven principles even when it's boring. And here's the beautiful part. The long game doesn't just build money. It builds character. It teaches discipline, gratitude, and calmness. Qualities that protect your wealth once you have it. So remember this: if something promises to make you rich overnight, it's probably a trap. But if you're willing to play the long game, save consistently, and stay patient, you'll build wealth that lasts a lifetime. Because the real secret isn't in speed, it's in staying power. The final lesson from The Millionaire Next Door might just be the most important one. True millionaires avoid debt, and they never let their lifestyle grow faster than their income. Most people fall into a trap the moment they start earning more. They upgrade everything: a bigger house, a newer car, fancier clothes. Their expenses rise just as fast as their income. And even though they make more money, they never actually feel rich. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it quietly kills financial freedom. The millionaires next door understand this trap, and they avoid it. They know that just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it. Instead of letting their lifestyle rise with every pay raise, they increase their savings, their investments, and their long-term security. That's how they grow wealth that lasts. Now let's talk about debt. Stanley and Danko discovered that most real millionaires carry little to no consumer debt. No car loans, no credit card balances, no luxury purchases on installment plans. They use debt only when it helps them grow, like buying real estate or expanding a business. Never for showing off. They understand that debt isn't just financial, it's mental. It steals peace of mind. It limits freedom, and it keeps you working for things you don't even need. There's a powerful quote that sums this up perfectly. Many people buy things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't even like. Millionaires next door refuse to play that game. They'd rather live quietly within their means, drive a paid-off car, live in a modest home, and sleep peacefully knowing they owe nothing to anyone. That's real wealth. Not the flashy lifestyle, but the freedom that comes from financial control. So here's the final takeaway. Avoid debt like it's a trap. And every time your income grows, resist the urge to spend more. Instead, save and invest the difference. Because in the end, wealth isn't built by how much you make. It's built by how much you keep. So what have we learned from the millionaire next door? That true wealth isn't about luxury cars, big mansions, or designer clothes. It's about freedom. Freedom to live life on your terms, without worrying about the next paycheck, the next bill, or anyone's opinion. The millionaires next door taught us 7 timeless lessons. They live below their means. They value independence over status. They use their time, money, and energy wisely. They pick the right careers. They teach their kids discipline. They think long-term, and they avoid debt and lifestyle inflation. None of these are secrets hidden in Wall Street strategies or overnight success stories. They're simple, consistent habits, practiced quietly every single day. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. You don't need to be extraordinary to become wealthy. You just need to be intentional. Because wealth isn't loud. It doesn't shout. It grows silently, inside the person who chooses patience over pressure, simplicity over status, and freedom over fame. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Bookfeel, where we uncover life-changing lessons from the world's most powerful books. Your next big mindset shift might just be one video away. Remember, becoming rich isn't about luck. It's about living wisely, one decision at a time.